take a quick peek at the guide here. Once you guys know this information, I ask that you guys replicate sheets in A110 and A120, right? So after you did this part, you can replicate the sheet exactly, and you can also replicate this sheet. Let's move on to another part, see what we cover here. Now we're going to look at perspective view sheets, okay? All right, perspective view sheets. So the perspective view sheets is essentially going to be your cover sheet, and that's also the sheet that you're going to write your write-up because it has a lot of free space for you. But in this sheet, you're going to need two perspective views. How do we get a perspective view? If you thought about it, it's almost this view, not exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down here on our project browser until we see coordination. And like I said, it might be closed for you, so just open it. And under coordination, we have 3D views here. And when you click on this little house here on the top, it always opens this 3D view. That's our default 3D view. We're going to go ahead and right click it, and we're going to duplicate view with detailing, okay? Once you have this view, you can still use the house, no problem. It's going to open the 3D view, and this one you can change as you want with no issue, okay? All right, what are we going to do here? We're going to go to the cube on the top right. We're going to right click it, and we can actually go from orthographic view to perspective. What's the difference? You can really notice the difference if you're looking at a corner of the building here, because all of these are essentially all the lines are straight, whereas perspective, they're going to go towards a point. So if you're not used to it, it looks a little bit crooked and weird, but it's essentially how we see the world, right? We don't see anything in orthographic. We see it from one perspective, and that's what you guys are going to want for your cover sheet. And make sure that you select your views here and hide it. Okay. If you, by the way, if you haven't used hide yet, you've only used the temporary hide. To get those things that you hid, you're going to click on this light bulb here, and then you're going to see them in a highlighted red. And if you reselect them, you can then unhide. Okay. We don't need to do that for now, but essentially now that you have your perspective view here, you're essentially going to duplicate it again, because this one is from the southeast and you're going to need one from the northwest. You essentially need two that are opposing. I obviously chose two for my sheet here. Right, I have these two, and I think these two represent everything everywhere else. So go ahead and use these perspectives, right, so that we can clearly see the front of the tower as well as the back curtain walls here. Okay. All right. Once you have this sheet, once you have this view, what you're going to do is you're going to create a new sheet. So you go to sheets again, and I have it closed. I'm going to right click it, new sheet, and it's going to have all these different sizes. The size that's highlighted is essentially the size that you're already using. So we're just going to hit OK. This is our new sheet, and it does have C102, a name for it. So C would be civil. So this would encompass a structural drawing when you have a drawing set, but we're obviously not doing anything structural. We're doing architectural. So go ahead and rename that as A and then some number. You guys may find it easier to even actually copy the numbers. It's not mandatory, but if you guys want to make it easier for yourselves, it's a choice. Either way, now that we have the sheet, right? Make sure you have your title block named properly as according to the rubric. What we're going to do here is we're going to take this 3D copy, and you can just click it and drag it straight into here. And because it's a 3D view, it doesn't have a crop region, and it's going to ask you, hey, do you want to apply a crop region? So you can actually put it into the sheet, and you're just going to hit yes. And then it's going to let you place it down. Once you place it down, it might look very small. It might look big like this. What you're going to do is you're going to double click it, and then you're going to be able to make that crop region bigger so they can actually see the whole building. All right. Once you have your crop region, remember you can move this thing when you're unselected, and you can double click it and hide your crop region so that this looks a little bit better. Perfect. Now what we can do is we can put this here. You're gonna duplicate it again, put a second one here, and the space that you guys have here, either the top right or the top left, please use it for your write-up. Really essentially detailing the difficulties or the hardest part that you had when making these sheets, or um, also the parts that you enjoy the most. Really just some feedback. It's always helpful. I get feedback from the graders, so anything that you guys write there about your experience is helpful for the class that comes after you guys. Okay. All right. So we have the perspective views. Very quick, very easy. Um, let's move on. What do we have next on our guide? And I probably